Face dodge, rolling around the cane, shoots, and ends it for Darien! One more to flip in. Perry, score! Kyle Foote ends it and wins it for Greenwich.
It was worth sitting in traffic driving back up from Long Island to watch that last night.
I got home later than I thought last night. I projected I'd get home at a certain time. I did not. I was in Connecticut longer than I thought.
It was great.
Overtime times 2.
But it's no surprise when you think about it, because in the regular season, in this FCAC Final Four, Greenwich, who played Ridgefield last night, back on April 15th, beat the Tigers, Decker Curran with the game winner, and then on May 3rd, Darien beat New Canaan, Johnny Reed with the game winner off the beautiful assist from the Admiral, Ian Burgoyne.
The soon to be.
He's gonna be.
The soon.
Yeah, we're gonna
Burgoyne is committed to Navy, and you know what, Mike? There's nothing like the unbelievable drama of overtime, which we had there in both games. And there's always something when you have a team that is undefeated and you're in the second season, the postseason, and they're still undefeated, and that team is staring into the abyss. You could feel it. The tension is there. But at the same time, you still knew they'd come, and they did.
Well, they were. I did. I'm not going to lie to you. With 8 minutes left, down 11-8 against their arch rivals from New Canaan, the two-time defending league champ, I thought it was done. And then when you break the game down, Burgoyne got the game winner, had the beautiful assist to Minikis. Gillespie had the big goal to tie it. We're going to show you all that. But Danny Traver, he made the play of the game. Traver. And he with the pole, number 11.
Romeo.
Yeah.
He's Romeo in the school play Romeo and Juliet. And you're right, because they were down 2. The clock had dipped under 3 minutes. They didn't have the ball. And you can't erase a 2-goal deficit if you don't have the ball. And Traver, who got hit in the throat the day before in practice, and they were afraid he wouldn't even get up from that, made the steal of the season.
No doubt. A huge play. It was I think it's the best lacrosse game we've seen this year. I really do.
Theater.
It was. Played at high level. Darien up 1-0 at this point. Here's Hufford with the save, then the sidearm clear, and here comes the wave. Rushing up the field, they eventually get it to Peter Lindley, and Gumby, man, the way he contortions that body, the first of his 4. 2-1 Darien when Teddy Varsity, the captain, played a role in this game, tied it up at 2. Now Darien going to work the ball around. New Canaan didn't want to see this guy. They know all about number 7. He ended it back on May 3rd with the overtime game winner. The Bucknell bounder makes it 3-2. New Canaan looking to tie it. I've said this all year. Justin Meichner is a flat-out superstar. I watched him against Staples in person the other day. You watched him the other night. I think he's by far the best player on New Canaan High School. I think he's flat-out sensational. And then Lindley, how'd he do it?
It's the reckless control of Peter Lindley's game. Nobody does it better in the tri-state.
5-3, Darien feeling pretty good about themselves. They were feeling great after Jack Niffen, the talented sophomore, makes it 6-3. They led 6-4 after 1. This thing was a dandy. Second quarter, tempo slows down a little bit, but if anybody had it more, it was Stanton and the Rams. That cut it to 6-5. Now New Canaan's going to work it around, and Michael Kraus, number 6, came to play on this night. That tied it, part of a 5-point night for Kraus.
Kraus, 3 goals and 2. His dad was a Hall of Famer at Virginia. Great bloodlines.
Yale-bound goalie Phil Hufford makes a mistake here, can't get back into the cage, and Kyle Smith, the talented sophomore, headed to Denver, gives the Rams a 7-6 lead. Darien going to create the turnover. Colin Minikis, I'll tell you this, nobody plays harder in the tri-state than the little big man. Makes a great play on the goalie, Trent Nader, clean pick, and he gets the goal. That ties it at 7. Third quarter we go, Meichner, another goal. He had 3 on the night off the beautiful look from Varsity.
It was a great night for underclassmen in this game, Mike. It just shows you that they just reload at these schools time and time again.
Look at Kraus doing it from the X. Somehow gets it to go, beats Hufford, asks for a crease violation. Big Lou doesn't give it to him.
He was probably pushed in the eyes of Lou.
New Canaan up 9-8 at this point, and Varsity makes it 10-8. And just like that, you're starting to think this magical undefeated season is coming to an end from Darien. And if you weren't thinking it then, you're thinking it now when Meichner beats Hufford.
I'm thinking that New Canaan is returning the football favor.
Yeah. And we have watched this goal over and over. We still don't know how Lindley got it in the net.
Did it come out of his pocket?
I don't, man, the dude is Gumby. And look at that pass. Burgoyne off the weak side to Minikis. Colin working it, getting it. It's now a 1-goal New Canaan lead until Harry Gillespie ties it at 11, his second of the day.
What a rip by Harry to tuck it inside that pipe. That is just working and working and working on your shot.
We go to overtime. Burgoyne had tried this shot moments before, didn't get it to go. Darien got the ball back, and the Admiral sinks the New Canaan dream of getting a three-peat. After the game, I talked to Burgoyne. And you go up and you talk to a high school kid and you think, okay, you could be all right, And very rarely do we ever play an entire interview. I was so impressed with the junior headed to Navy, we had to play the whole thing.
I think it brings out the best in the team. It's the rivalry. We've got a great senior core. I've said that before. And we've got some great underclassmen. And our seniors really led us. Our captains, Kyle Cornell, Brad McCarthy, and Sam Mays, really wanted this one. We fell short in this game last year, which is a very big disappointment. And I think this season started up with our loss to Wilton. We all worked hard. We all put in the effort. Different motto this year in the preseason, and I think we're reaping the rewards today. So I put in a lot of work on this field actually in the winter, going on that wall, going on these nets, and I'm just lucky I could stick the shot in the end there.
The pressure to get Braemeyer's 500th, that came and went last Friday against McMahon. You felt pressure today as a team that you haven't felt this year. How much does the ability to come back from 3 goals down against a terrific team, what does that do for relaxing you guys? Because I thought for the first time this year, Darien was thinking when they were playing. They just weren't playing.
Yeah, I really thought that we were a little bit rattled, down 11-8. We were kind of questioning ourselves, doubting ourselves. We made a few unforced errors. I let the ball go out out of bounds on that end when Jack Niffen threw me a great pass. And the coaching staff is unbelievable. Coach B is saying, we've been here before. We cannot give in here. I remember freshman year, Case's year, he said that the difference between that team and some of the undefeated teams that he's had in the past is to deal with adversity. And I think that's what we proved to ourselves today. We still got one more step for that before we go to the title against one of these 2 teams, both of whom are great teams, great players. So can't have this one too long, but it's back to work tomorrow.
Can you guys finally now take a breath? Because when that hangs over you, that unbeaten season, as much as you say you don't think about it, it's human nature. You're going to think about it. Can you take a bit of a breath now, knowing that we got punched in the face and we're still standing?
Yes, I think so. We've had a lot of great wins where we've got up early and where we've been in control of the game with face-offs, with Andrew Pugliese, face-off X, and and Phil in goal giving us possessions. But I think that now that we have this behind us, we can always draw on this, especially in the state run and on Friday against one of these teams. The undefeated season definitely, it hangs over us. A lot of people like to talk about it at school, but you're not gonna believe me, but I really don't think that we think about it too much, because we were 13-8 last year, and that is, unacceptable for Darien Lacrosse. It's unacceptable. It's an embarrassment for us to be part of Coach Braemeyer's team that did that, and it's not a reflection on him. It's a reflection on us. So, we just took that, and I think we're playing hungry and humble, and that's the way it's got to be for us.
That's a terrific answer. So I'll ask you one final question, which I need an answer.
Okay.
Who do you dislike more, New Canaan or Army?
Oh, I've got a lot of respect for both teams. I got to say the rivalry with New Canaan is definitely a little bit more right now. But I'm sure once I get to the college level, I'm sure I'll be feeling a little enmity towards Army. But I was recruited by Army. I love the coaching staff there. They've got a great program. Some of the great recruits that I know have gone there. So just like I have a bunch of great friends on New Canaan who I played with the rest of the summer. So in the end, it's just fun.
Let me tell you something about this guy Burgoyne here. This guy, when he's done at the United States Naval Academy, you're going into politics because you answer questions incredibly well without answering them. Great job, man.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
My man.
Thank you, sir.
He's great.
I feel good that Burgoyne's going to be keeping us safe 100%. Someday.
That's the Admiral.
He will lead this country someday.
That is the Admiral. Great. Wants to fly helicopters in the Navy.
But you saw that sort of leader Burgoyne is, because Mike, on that final possession that ends the game, he's behind the cage with one of his teammates. We see it a million of times. Defense is not pressing out, and his teammate is like, here I am, and Burgoyne says, I got it. And his teammate flushes out. Yep. Burgoyne comes topside, Rip City, a shot that he has practiced time and time again as a youngster, and so ended a game that had everything. It had rivalry, it had a win streak, it had Darien doing what they did to them in football, okay, not letting happen in lacrosse, you know what I mean? And so it had it all.
And it had a coach that had to deal with a tough loss, handle it great, Chip Buzzio. Oh, man, he wants them, and he says, we're going to beat them, and they're going to play again. They will play in the State M Championship because I think they're going to be bracketed. Darien the 1, New Canaan the 3. That's the way it looks. They'll play again, and he did not hide from it. He goes, we are going to beat them in the championship.
He went Joe Willie. He went Joe Namath. He wants it. He wants to see it happen. He wants them to win the FC. Darien has
I love Buzzio.
Darien has 2 games left, the FCX Championship and that state final. And Buzzio, listen, Mike, Buzzio's a New Canaan guy. He played there. He went to Princeton and played in the glory days of Princeton lacrosse, where national championships came like M&Ms out of the bag, man. Boom, boom, boom. He knows what it's like to compete. He knows what it's like to have a big rival on the other side that you want, and he'll let everybody know we want him in the finals, and we'll beat him.
In the other game, you never think 5-1 Ridgefield at the half. It had 10-2 written all over it. Ridgefield second half, feeling comfortable about their lead. Shooting now becomes not the biggest facet in their game, and Greenwich somehow, left for dead, is going to the championship.
Yeah, 1-0 lead at this point. Great ball move by Greenwich. Kyle Foote scores. Now it's 1-1. So the game is at 1-1, but now Ridgefield would go up 5-1, and they would try to turn it over to that zone. And Ridgefield, listen, doing what they do, moving the ball around. Ridgefield, but Tommy Rogan. Look at Tommy Rogan here. You know, Mike, sometimes those are the saves. Keeps it a 5-1 game. Should have been 6-1 just like that.
He was the star of the game as far as I was concerned.
Decker Curran beat him the first time in overtime. The long shot from Curran scores 5-2.
This was a killer for Ridgefield High. Time running out in the third.
Long pass. Look at this. All the way, 80-yard pass into another one. The dump down low by Jamie Paradise. It's 5-3. Greenwich trails by 2. So we go to the fourth quarter. Kyle Foote took over. Foote, low laser right there. It's now a 5-4 game.
His game's going to translate real well for Loyola.
Greenwich just coming. Will Perry. Rip City by Perry. The game is tied at 5. And then Kyle Foote. Kyle Foote saw something down low that he liked, and he kept going there. Look at this low laser by the Loyola bound foot again. Greenwich has the lead, 6-5. But give Ridgefield credit, because Chad Chris in front of the net. And watch Chris. Great high fake to downstairs. We're tied at 6.
Man up goal.
So we go to overtime. Greenwich, watch this. Backside 30-yarder. Doesn't always work. It does this time. Kyle Foote. He went low all night. On the game winner, he goes high. And Greenwich survives and advances to the FCAC championship.
What a pass by Ryan Flippin. Incredible. Foote, break it down, brother.
Yeah, you know, that's the look we practice, to get the wheel in rotation, then hit the backside. I had my stick nice and high at Ryan Flippin, gave me that great pass.
A pair of wins over Ridgefield. You also took down New Canaan in the regular season. The one blemish on your FCX schedule is Darien. The Blue Wave is waiting on Friday. What are your thoughts?
You know, we're just excited to get to work and create a game plan to take them down too.
Well, you know, Jim, that was a 4-3 game at the half when they played this year. Darien led second half. They just beat Greenwich up. They win the game 10-4. I will be picking that game after you watch this quick hits thing. We have a special edition of Put a Face on It. So I will break that game down. I'm going to pick 7 other games around the Tri-State. Day earlier, tough time of the year because so many games are coming at you on different times. So we got that game all picked. Going to be fun. Can't wait to watch that at Jack Casagran Field Friday night. Darien, Greenwich, and I'm going to be talking about that game next week on Quick Hits with you. And then on Tuesday night, I'm doing a live chat with this cat, Mike Monty. So I'm excited about that. We'll talk about anything. I want to hear from a lot of New Canaan, Darien, Ridgefield, Greenwich. I want to hear from everybody. I'm going to say this. If you're in Class L, watch out for Staples. Will Johnson and the Wreckers, they are legit. Legit.